Cameron Kurtz and Josh Komnick, and we are joined by Lincoln head coach Neil Alexander, who's got a smile on his face this morning. Coach, a lot of things to think about this morning, and it's always a little disappointing after a loss. What were some of the things last night that made it a little bit more challenging and a little bit harder to swallow?
Well, anytime we get into conference play, teams know us very well. They know our personnel, and one of the things that we have trouble with are people getting up in us. And Springfield guarded us hard and very physical, and it's not going to be any different throughout the conference play and even into the state tournament. So we've got to work at being able to handle that pressure and the physical play that people are going to play us.
Coach, you talked about last night after the post game that it's hard for your reserves or the sophomores that you practice against every day to emulate the strength. Of course, a senior is going to be stronger than a sophomore that you're practicing against, or even the speed, the quickness that Springfield or a Kankakee or Southeast will bring to the table. How do you emulate or try to emulate that in practice? Do you throw 7 guys out there, 8 guys? I remember there are times when I played that we were sometimes going 5-on-8 and things like that, where you're just trying to emulate something that a holding, a grabbing, a clawing, a scratching, and guys get a little tired of that during practice too.
Well, yeah, they do, but you can see what happened last night. It happened on the court, and you got to try to make sure you practice that way. And we do add, a 6th, 7th man, to play against 7, against 5 on our offense, and let them run and jump us, and those are different things that you can try to do, but you just can't get into that how physical and quick the players are that we're facing, and it's hard to just go from being able to practice and then here all of a sudden you have that situation.
Coach, that physicality that you're discussing about, and one of the things that you mentioned last night in your post-game wrap-up after the game last night was being able to play for 32 minutes. You care to elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I thought we kind of let down, and it's hard to play 32 minutes.
It is. It's
constant focused basketball, but we have to. That's our, that's how we compete against the people that we play, is how consistent and how hard we can play for a period of time. And I thought we had more minutes last night than we've had in a couple weeks, but we've just got to get back to executing ball movement. Setting harder picks. That's one of the emphasis that we've had, is trying to set picks. But we had a crucial, I think we might have been up 2 points and had the ball and was trying to run a set, and we got an illegal pick on the baseline, and just little things like that you can't afford to do. I don't know what the turnover situation was last night, but I don't think we did a bad job of handling the ball. But when you take bad shots usually run into bad reboundings and run-outs and easy scores for your opponent.
Yeah, you talked about the quickness to try and emulate, and you sure couldn't emulate 6'7", 200-pound Willie Wiley, who's an excellent defender. I mean, quick. You don't see a lot of 6'7" guys able to guard our big men out on the perimeter, but I thought he did an excellent job on Brant Coyne last night. Willie Wiley finished with 14 points, 10 rebounds. Lincoln was a loser 43-42 on a Mark Gilchrist layup. Lincoln did have a chance with about 7 seconds left to get a shot off, and we just dribbled it off, kind of got tipped away, and we were bumped and that thing, but there was no call, and, right to be there was no foul. And the Railers turn it over, and Springfield runs it out. The Railers go to 12-2, 3-1 in the conference. Springfield ups their record to 6-7. 2-2 in the conference. Jordan Gessner was the leading scorer last night, 18 points. Jordan Nelson with 13. Nathaniel Smith with 7. Again, Willie Wiley with 14 and 10. Thalamus Alexander, who I thought really was a big player for them last night, hit some big shots at some big times, finished with 10. And, of course, Mark Gilchrist didn't score a lot, but hit some big shots, especially the 3 at the about 30 seconds left in the game, and then comes down and hits the game winner. Coach, off to a hot start early. Jordan Gessner with the first 7 for the Railers, 12-8 after 1. After the first quarter, you knew it was going to be a good game, but so far the Railers look energized. The crowd, we had a great crowd last night, and it looked like it was going to be nice to be back at Roy S.
Yeah, it was good to come back home, and we've got one more game before we go to the Meyer Classic, and then we get into February. I think we got 4 straight home games, but here we're talking about the Meyer Classic already, and once you get to that point, you're pretty much thinking state tournament, and we have to continue to get better. We're running out of time, and we've got a lot of things to get better at.
Yeah, you say you got to start playing 32 minutes. Well, the season gets real rough after, starting last night. You got a game at Southeast tonight. Sacred Heart Griffin at Sacred Heart on the 14th. Kankakee comes to town the 15th, and then we start that 5-game Meyer Classic, which we do have the schedule. The schedule is out. We'll have that in the second half with Coach Al. But a lot of games and not a lot of days there, and the guys playing 32 minutes are going to get even tougher.
Well, at that point in time, it's a great tournament to have where you play a lot of games. You get to the middle of January. That became, until we started that tournament, pretty much of a stale point in the season, and it gives you a little change of pace. It gives you games, and kids would rather play games than practice. So I think the tournament's in a perfect location in our schedule, and you get to play 5 games. Not a lot of practice time to work on things, but you have to use your game times to make sure that you improve. Also, playing in the tournament, really, you're getting to January. You should be pretty smooth at what you're doing. You've been practicing for over 2 months, and it's that time of the year to be focusing on the state tournament.
Coach tied at 18 after the second quarter. Going in, they came back and outscored us a little bit in the second quarter, but the third quarter is really where Springfield kind of took control right from the tip. Of the third quarter. They came out and I believe made a 7-0 run on us to go up, and really had a 12-point lead at one time in the third quarter, late in the third quarter, about a minute left. And the Railers, if there was one positive, I think was the fight that we had, coming back down 12 late in the third, battling back in the fourth. We get a couple offensive rebounds. We get a kick out, I believe, to Jordan Nelson for a 3. And then Jordan Nelson penetrates to Gessner for a 3. Gessner hit some big shots at some big times last night.
Yeah, he did. I thought he had maybe one of his better games, and he's really, we've got him out on the point of our press, and that's where we really want him to excel and play, and that is a tough place to play. I think you played there a little bit, and that's one of the toughest places to play on our defense because you're so active and you got to really move and cover the high post. You got to pressure the ball above the free throw line and everything. So he's got a lot of other things on his mind, and but last night I thought he done a super job of stepping up and hitting the shots, and he hit big ones. They were crucial, and hopefully he can continue that.
We're going to step aside, take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be sitting down with Coach Alexander and discussing the keys to the game for later on tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.